They walked beside him. They witnessed miracles, betrayals, and the rising storm that would change history forever. But what happened after the resurrection is a story shrouded in shadows, blood, and sacrifice. They were chosen to spread a divine message. But one by one they were hunted, imprisoned, tortured, and killed. Or were they? Was Peter really crucified upside down? Did Thomas die in distant India by a spear's cruel thrust? Why does Judas have not one but two death accounts? And what of the legends that refuse to die? This isn't just a story of martyrdom, it's a tale of loyalty, betrayal, secret journeys, and death in the name of faith, the chilling fates of Christianity's first witnesses. Prepare yourself for a journey across centuries and continents. We'll uncover the truth, sift through the legends, and reveal how the 12 men closest to Jesus met their final fate. Their lives shaped a religion. Their deaths sealed it in blood. Peter, the rock that was broken, he was the boldest, the leader, the one whom Jesus called the rock, but in the end, even the strongest can break. Simon Peter, the fisherman turned apostle, is said to have met his end during Emperor Nero's brutal persecution of Christians, the year around 64 AD, the place Rome. But Peter made one final request, that he be crucified upside down, declaring himself unworthy to die in the same manner as his Lord. Why was Peter in Rome? What evidence survives of his final days? And did he truly choose such a gruesome death? Or was it just part of the legend that would shape the early church? Andrew, the cross of silence. He was Peter's brother, but his end was no less harrowing. Andrew journeyed far, preaching the gospel in lands hostile to the message. His reward, a slow, agonizing death. According to tradition, he was bound, not nailed, to an X-shaped cross. For 2 long days he hung in the sun, preaching until his voice fell silent. Why was he tied instead of nailed? Was it mercy or cruelty? James the Greater, the first to fall. He was the first apostle to die for the faith. James, son of Zebedee, known as James the Greater, was executed by sword under Herod Agrippa around 44 AD. His death marked a turning point. No longer were the apostles just messengers, they were marked men. What made James so dangerous that he had to die first? John, the one who wouldn't die. Unlike the others, John didn't die by sword or cross, but that doesn't mean Rome didn't try. Legend claims he was thrown into boiling oil and survived. Banished instead to the island of Patmos, he wrote visions of fire and apocalypse, the book of Revelation. Why was John spared? Was it divine protection or a message yet to be fulfilled? Thomas, the spear of doubt. He's remembered for doubting, but his faith led him far, perhaps farther than any other. Thomas is said to have traveled to India, where he converted many, until he was pierced by a spear, martyred for the faith he once questioned. Did doubt make him stronger, or did it seal his fate? Philip, the preacher pinned to earth. Philip spread the word in hostile territory, but the message wasn't welcome. According to tradition, Philip was tortured and crucified, upside down. Some say he preached even as he hung dying, warning the people who mocked him. Why did the townspeople turn on him so violently? What truth did he speak that demanded silence through death? Bartholomew, the apostle who was flayed. Some deaths haunt history like ghosts. Bartholomew's is one of them. Accounts vary, but one stands out in its horror, that he was flayed alive, his skin peeled from his body before being beheaded. Why such a brutal end? Was it punishment or a warning? Matthew the martyr with a message. He once counted coins for the empire, then he counted souls for heaven. Matthew, the gospel writer, is said to have been killed in Ethiopia, some say by the sword, others by spear. The accounts are scattered, like the truth. Why is his death so contested? And who wanted his message silenced? James the Less. So little is known, but his end may have been the most violent of all. Some say he was thrown from the pinnacle of the temple in Jerusalem. Others say he was beaten to death with a fuller's club, perhaps both. Was it the message or the man they wanted to erase? Thaddeus, also known as Jude, not Iscariot, traveled east, carrying a message of peace to a land on the brink of war. He was martyred in Persia, stabbed, beaten, or axed to death, the sources say. One man, many wounds, one gospel. Why does history blur his end? Was it forgotten or erased? Simon was called the Zealot, a name that meant fire, rebellion, conviction. Some say he was sawn in half in Persia. Others say crucified. A few say he died peacefully, but the blood-stained legends say otherwise. Did he die for God or for the cause that burned within him? The most infamous name in Christian history, Judas Iscariot, the betrayer. But how did he die? Scripture gives two accounts. One says he hanged himself, another says he fell and his body burst open. Why the contradiction? Was it shame or judgment, suicide or curse? 12 men followed one, each paid a price. Some died alone, some died far from home. All died for a message they believed was worth everything, even their lives. History remembers their message. But never forget it was sealed in blood.